So let me ask you this: you get out of the life. What was it? Because you're straight. I see you. You have a different attitude about you. Whole different attitude. Like myself. Part of it is, look. I look back. I did a lot of things, Dom. That I don't know about you, but I was very uncomfortable doing. But I did them anyway because that was the life. And some of the things I regret, especially somebody that was very, very close to me that got killed.
Right.
And I couldn't save him. And it haunted me for a long time. I still think about it. But that was a life. But I started to realize that things were wrong in that life, and I had to make a change. Now, I'm a Christian, so a lot of my faith came into this, obviously. And of course, my wife, but I also felt, you know what, it was really doing some bad things back then. It's wrong. The life is wrong. And so I made a commitment to try to do the best. I'm not perfect in any way, but try to stay on the right path. You seem to have done the right thing. What was it that clicked inside of you that said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. It's wrong. I want to play it straight.
I saw the handwriting on the wall. I was going to be the scapegoat. Now, to go back, I've killed people in the life. And when somebody asked me, how did you feel about it? Did it haunt you? I can't say it did. My victims were gangsters. They would have put a bullet in my head like that. Where I do have remorse and regret are the families, the mothers, the daughters, the sons, the grandparents, the aunts, uncles that suffered. That's where I have remorse, regret. But
let me ask you, and I don't mean to interrupt. Did you think about it at that time?
Only with one person, the last one, Randy Pizzolo. I saved him. Randy, stay away from Vinny Basciano. Stay away from him. Stay with me. If Vinny wanted him dead, I'm like, Vinny, you can't do it. He just had a kid. His daughter, I got close with the daughter, his family. I'll control him. And Vinny thought about it. He says, I'm giving him a pass. Tell him to stay away from me. Pulled him up. Randy, do not go by Vinny anymore. Stay very close to me and stop it. Stop going out, drinking, making noise in the streets. Stop it. You're going to get killed. That week, he took an insurance policy out on himself. About 3 weeks later, he created chaos again. Vinny heard about it. He's going. Vin, leave him alone. He's going. That's it. Done. I want him gone and somebody else. And that was it, and it killed me because now I have to. I have no choice. Otherwise I'm going to go. I don't think Vin would have killed me, but he would.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, and that's one of the tough things about that life. You weren't always in agreement with what you had to do, but we felt we had to do it. And how do you justify it? The way I justified things, look, we all took an oath. We all understood what we could do and what we can't do.
Right.
And if we violated that oath, things got bad. The problem is when people got killed for political reasons or for money reasons. I've seen that happen. I was, unfortunately witness to that, but that was the bad part of it.
To me, that's disgusting. It's that's the most egregious thing somebody could do.
But it happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Happens.
A lot in that life.
But another thing I want people to understand, we weren't out in the street killing innocent people. When they say we killed our own, it's true, but we all had our eyes wide open. Like I said, it was corrupted at times, and times the wrong things happened to people for the wrong reasons, I should say. But I always try to let people know, because sometimes, I'll be honest with you, Dom, I don't read all the comments. But every once in a while, I do. And, people, you killed innocent people and this and that. And then once in a while, I respond to that. And I said, no, you're wrong. We didn't go around killing innocent people.
Right.
And I'm not justifying the life. I'm not trying to cover for it. I'm not trying to say we weren't guilty of certain things. But we didn't do to the extent that the movies and everything else may show.
Correct.
And and I do take, I don't know if the word is offense, but I am a little sensitive to that. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I'm the type. The hardest thing I ever had, hardest decision in my life was when I cooperated. Do you know it killed me inside? It was about 4 years after I cooperated. I couldn't live with myself. I mean, I would have nightmares. I'd wake up crying in like, what did I do? What did I couldn't live with myself? And while I was locked up, I wound up finding God. I'm a Catholic. And it helped me. And I just learned to accept it. Listen, you turned your life around, get over it. But it was so embedded in me. So when somebody calls me a rat, a snitch, or whatever they want to say, you're right. And I tell people, I took the coward way out. Because in my eyes, the way I feel inside, nobody twisted my arm to become a captain. Nobody twisted my arm to make money, to go into Rayos and act who I was. Nobody twisted my arm to do anything illegal. And I grew up, if you're set up by law enforcement, if your brother tells on you, your father tells on you, your mother, take it on the chin, go to jail, and that's it. Because if you can't do that, walk away. Get out of the streets. So that was my mentality. And at the end of the day, and I don't make an excuse, but here was my scenario. Joe Messino's wearing a wire, the boss.
I couldn't believe that when I heard it, by the way.
Vinny Basciano, the acting boss, they're in a jail cell. They're on a rooftop deck. Joe opens up the newspaper. Who killed this guy? Who killed Randy? Dominick did it. But Vinny's talking in this tone. Vinny's not on any, well, 2 wiretaps he's on. That's it. He was meeting somebody. So he's on 2 wiretaps. I mean, he was very cautious. Never spoke on phones, in the home, cars. We would go outside in the snow, rain, whatever it took. So here he says Dominick did it. And I was brought up, when something happens, even if the boss asks you, I don't know. The boss shouldn't be asking you those questions. Who did it? So then I get locked up. The acting boss out there, Michael knows Mancuso, he turned around and took all my guys from me. Now, you know, in the life, I'm a captain. I have an acting captain. I get locked up. That's my support.
Of course.
Until I'm found guilty, my crew should be intact.
Of course.
Within the first week, he broke up. He dismantled my whole crew. The Christmas before I got locked up, I collected about $365,000 from my concrete guys. You know, I had a lot of construction guys, so they kicked up at Christmas. The Christmas I was locked up, he sent my son's mother $3,500. And then we put the icing on the cake. Vinny was with John Gotti Jr. in MCC. They had us separated because it hit on the prosecutor. And Vinny, during co-defendant meetings, he said, Dom, Joe Messino, all the guys around him, Sal Vitale, Richie Cantarelli, Joey D'Amico, nobody knew me. So I'm from the Bronx. And I had a lot of legitimate businesses. Tell everybody there, all the bosses, because we had Arnold Swittieri, who was the boss of the Gambino at that time, Quiet Dom. I was with Ali Boy Persico. So he says, speak to them, let them know we have to change with the times. I got John Jr.'s backing, but you're going to take the witness stand on our behalf. Because it's not illegal to be in the Mafia. It's illegal to commit a crime. Right. They didn't have me for loan sharking, gambling, nothing. Nothing at all other than Vinny's conversation. Dominick killed him. I was at a net game. So we had a good strategy for trial. So I go around, I tell everybody. Dom tells me, you know you can't do that. I say, I know, but Vinny told me to mention it. And then I had Jeffrey Littman. Jeffrey Littman told Vinny, he's like, my client's not taking the witness stand. We're beating this case. They have nothing on Dominick. Behind closed doors, Vinny has me fire Jeffrey. And of course I have to, you know, you're in their life. Long and short of it all, that's when I washed my hands, because here, if I testify on our behalf, not telling on anybody, but now omitting to everything, we wind up with time. Everybody in jail is going to say Dominick's a rat.
Mm-hmm.
I get on the street. Who's going to sit down with me? They're going to say I'm a rat. So I'm in a lose-lose situation.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, I said, you know what? I'm done with this life. I'm not going to be a scapegoat for this guy. And that was the hardest decision I had to make, cooperating. And I don't use it as an excuse. I'm just, sometimes maybe I try to justify, if that makes sense. But right now, sitting here, the life I created, I'm glad I did leave that life, because for me, it would have been a revolving door. I would have been in and out, and it's not a good way to live.
No, look, for me too. We were such targets back then. But you know what, I'm going to say this. My dad, who was the most stand-up guy, as stand-up as anybody on the street.
I know he did a quadrillion years in jail.
You know, did 40 years, would never open up his mouth, nothing. But I look at that and I say, all right, that's something to be, you know, I hold my dad in esteem for that. I do. But I look at it the other way, and I say this. My dad was violated 5 times. The 3rd time he's violated, I said, Dad, you cannot stay in New York. I was a captain at the time. You can't stay in New York. You can't even say hello to anybody. They violate you. Our family is falling apart. My sister is dead. My brother's a junkie. My mother and you, the relationship is terrible. My other sister is a basket case. You got to leave New York. Let's go. We can go to Florida. We can go to California, whatever. He didn't want to do it. As a result of that, he gets locked up. He goes back in. He gets violated 2 more times. And then he comes out and goes to trial and goes back in for another 8 years. So my whole family got destroyed. So yeah, he was a stand-up guy. But his actions destroyed our family. Because my dad was out 5 times.
Right.
You know, at one point in time, he said, hey, you know what? Okay, I got to take care of my family. And, you know, that was one of the main reasons why I left the life, because I said, I'm going to do the same thing to my family that I went through. I'm a major target. I was already indicted 7 times. How many more times am I going to escape? You know, Giuliani told me he's going to give me 100 years. Yeah, he said, I'm giving you double what your father got, was his words. I said, it's only a matter of time.
Right.
They hit me, I'm going to go away forever. And I said, I'm not going to destroy my family. So, yeah, it's great to be that stand-up guy. But on the other side, people like yourself, you know, they don't treat you right. And again, I'm not, and this, I'll probably get knocked for this, but I say what I want to say. I don't care. But I'm just trying to give the reality of the life. Yes, we take an oath and we're supposed to abide by it. But my gosh, if you're putting me in jeopardy and you're not abiding by the oath, now I have to worry about myself and my family. What's right and what's wrong?
Right.
You
know, when I first came on YouTube too, and I would say, yes, I took the coward way out. At that time, I was talking with Sammy. Sammy said, Dom, stop saying that. No, but Sammy, I could admit, like, I'm the type of person, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've apologized to people on YouTube. Like, I'm okay with it. That's a sign of a man, that I'm secure with myself. So why am I going to not say, to me, I took the coward way out. That's it. It was my choice. At the end of the day, I stand behind it. Like, to me, I look at it, it diffuses everybody. It diffuses somebody continuously coming at you, but they still do it anyway.
They do it anyway.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I laugh half the times. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. That I text Joey Molino, okay? And you know him. He's drops F-bombs every other sentence. Rat this, rat that, F this. So I text him. He says, who's this? I said, you know who it is. And he came back, yeah, I figured. Do you know, throughout the text, he did not drop an F-bomb, and he did not call me a rat. He just says, you know what you did was wrong. I said, I know. I make no excuses, but here's why. He says, that's no excuse. I said, you're right. And that was it. That was the end of our conversation. But he didn't drop one F-bomb to me. And, you know, and I look at him sometimes like, he is funny. He's some stuff that he comes out with, I laugh. But I used to be on that side. You used to be on that side of it where we frowned upon people cooperating. And, you know, at the end of the day, times have changed. There's no more of that. There's no more communities. I was just in New York. in my neighborhood. Went to do a lot of shoots throughout the neighborhood. Now it's summertime. Went to Hazel Towers, Wilkerson Park, Waterbury Park, Pelham Bay Park, Throgs Neck. Do you know, I did not see a group of kids on the street.
Oh, I know.
And I was in the morning hours. I went afternoon and nighttime. 3 days. I have over 24 hours of film time. There was, even in the park, I said, look at this. I'm walking around the park. They're filming me. The park is dead.
Those days are gone now.
It's
Everywhere. You don't see that.
And you know, the neighborhoods, that's what made communities. That's what made people interact with one another, to grow, to build, to learn. And you just don't have that anymore. It's different times.
And my friends, before I go, I want to remind you, Franzese Wine, I now have a wine branded in my name from the world's oldest vineyards. We have alcoholic wine, of course, non-alcoholic wine, huge seller now. And the taste is terrific, my friends. Really, you're going to enjoy this. Family atmosphere, wherever you want. It's wonderful wine. You're going to enjoy the taste. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. So go to franzesewine.com before we sell out, because it's moving fast. That's an offer, once again, you can't refuse, with a taste you're going to love.